MFA updates
Hello สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to MFA Update, a weekly program that focuses on Thailand's international affairs and activities. I am Kimi or Kim Paniknisakrai, your host.Today, I bring you to Kun Put Pop Mongkol Nawin. He's the Deputy Director General, Department of International Organization, discussing on the topic of the 75th anniversary of Thailand's membership in the UN, Thailand's commitment as a responsible, reliable, and constructive member and development partner of the UN.
The foreign affairs that matter.Special guests from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is the MFA Updates.
สวัสดีค่ะคุณพืชภพ
Hello everyone. My name is Pushpop Mongkonawin. I'm a Deputy Director General at the Department of International Organizations, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand.
So talking about the 75th anniversary of the Thailand's membership in the UN, how did Thailand join in the United Nations?Yes,
it's a long story. So we start off with at the end of the World War II in 1945. At that time, we were suffering from the imperialist threats from Europe and the Far East. So it was necessary for Thailand to secure its international recognition and the respect for its sovereignty and the territorial integrity. So by that time, as one of our former foreign ministers said, joining the UN,Thailand would remain safe and under collective security and respected by other nations because the UN is the largest and the most universal of international organization designed to maintain world peace, safeguard the sovereignty, and protect and advance the interests of small states. But however, our membership in the United Nations was not the bed of roses. As you know, to admit to the membership, it needs to go through the approval of all the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. So although at that time we had support from the United States, but there were some difficulties in the negotiation process from the other countries at that time. But, with the able leadership of Prince Wan Waityagon at that time, who spent several months negotiating the terms of Thailand's entry into the United Nations, we successfully gained our admission on 15th of December 1946. It took about 4 months after our submission to get the membership of the UN, and we were the 55th member.to be admitted to the United Nations.
What have we achieved in the past 75 years with the UN?
Yeah, it's great. It's been such a long time for us being in the United Nations. We can be proud that throughout the past 75 years, Thailand has exhibited a strong commitment to the United Nations and to the principles enshrined in the UN Charter as well as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This is evident in the participation of prominent Thai nationals in the UN since the organization's early years. Some of the examples are Dr. Thanat Korman, former Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who served as the president of the UN Trusteeship Council in 1954. Trusteeship was one of the main organs of the United Nations system. Also, we have Prince Wan Waityagon, who successfully orchestrated Thailand's application to the UN, and he was elected as president of the United Nations General Assembly for the 11th session.In 1956, and he also became the chairman of the first UN Conference on the Law of the Sea in 1958, which was a very important international conference. Also in 2003, we have the former Prime Minister Anand Panyarachun, who was selected by the United Nations Secretary General to serve as the chairman of the high-level panels on threats, challenges, and changes, which paved the way for the groundbreaking reform launched at the 2005 World Summit. This has led to the creation of the important mechanisms now, like the Peace Building Commission as well as the Human Rights Council.
I see.
And at present, if I just add as well, we also have We have served in different positions in 24 international organizations under the umbrella of the UN. We also have 6 Thai professionals who have been elected to serve in various fora. The latest one being the International Law Commission. Our current Director General of Department of Treaties and Legal Affairs, Dr. Vilawan Mankalathanagun, she was elected to serve in this prestigious body. So that's all for the individual side. We also have served in the UN as a country in the main organs such as the United Nations Security Councils. And also we served in the Economic and Social Council for several times as well in that one. And we also was a member of the Human Rights Council when it was first started.
Throughout the past 75 years, I heard that Thailand has proved to be a responsible, reliable, and constructive member and development partner of the UN across all the 3 pillars. So can you elaborate about this?
Yes, indeed. Our work has spanned across the 3 pillars of the UN. Just let me take you through one by one. But this is only the glimpse of what we have done so far. There's so many things that we have accomplished and we have implemented, throughout the 3 quarters of a century. Since joining on peace and security first, since joining the UN, Thailand has answered the calls on several occasions to promote international peace and security. In the wake of the Korean War of 1950, Thailand was the first Asian nation to offer ground troops to the UN command. And we have contributed over 11,700 ground troops and 40,000 tons of rice by 1955. But Thailand was a supporter of UN peacekeeping at its early stages, from the establishment of the UN Emergency Force in the Middle East and the UN operation in the Congo. As a country with abiding faith in multilateralism and Pacific settlement of disputes, Thailand is proud to have served as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council during 1985 to 1986. A notable achievement of the Thai presidency of the Council was the adoption of the UN SC Resolution 589 of 1986, which paved the way for the end of the Iraq-Iran war. In addition, together with ASEAN, Thailand was able to work with the UN to achieve a comprehensive settlement of the Cambodian conflict through the Paris Peace Accord in 1991. The agreement mandated the establishment of the UN Transitional Authority in Cambodia, to which Thailand contributed both civilian and military personnel, which ultimately opened a new era for peace and stability in Cambodia. Thailand's contribution to peacekeeping increased significantly after the end of the Cold War, from Cambodia to Timor-Leste, from the Iraq-Kuwait border to Bosnia-Herzegovina, from Burundi to Sudan. The Thai peacekeepers have attached importance to the sustaining peace agenda and introduced the sufficiency economy philosophy, or the SEP, as a development approach to address the root causes of conflict, which is in line with Sustainable Development Goal 16, which is the peace, justice, and strong institutions. Thailand's contribution to peace operations, furthermore, continues amidst the current pandemic crisis. Currently, we have over 300 active peacekeepers around the world. For more than 60 years, we have contributed over 27,000 peacekeepers to more than 20 UN peacekeeping operations around the world. And on the development, this is the second pillar, we believe that driving forward realization of sustainable development goals across all sectors is key instrument to respond to the challenges the world is facing and to deal with inequalities exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Thailand firmly believes that the balance is at the heart of the realization of the SDGs and is a key instrument for dealing with crises of all kinds. Last July, Thailand submitted our second voluntary national review on the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The report placed emphasis on the application of the sufficiency economy philosophy as guideline to achieving the SDGs, including through the promotion of bio-circular green economy model, or the BCG. The BCG economy model constitutes a balanced and sustainable approach to development, encompassing economic, social, and environmental aspects through application of technology and innovation that are connected to global supply chains. To further support sustainable development, Thailand is fully committed to the climate action under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, or as we know as UNFCCC, as well as the Paris Agreement. We have submitted our national determined contribution within the scheduled time frame, and is one of the first developing countries to submit the long-term low-emission development strategy to the UNFCCC Secretariat. But at the conference of the parties to the UNFCCC or the COP26 in Glasgow just a few weeks ago, the Prime Minister Prayut just joined the other world's leaders and announced our 2050 carbon neutrality target and 2065 net zero greenhouse gas emission target. This reaffirms Thailand's position as a strong supporter of balanced climate and environment responsive development.
Yes.
But Thailand also believes that the Economic and Social Council and its subsidiary bodies have a pivotal role to play in promoting sustainable development and the SDGs, especially post-COVID-19. As a member of the ECOSOC and the current vice president of this main organ of the UN, we look forward to working closely with all partners to move forward our common development agenda. We will also continue to work with others to strengthen the ECOSOC and the UN development pillars as a whole. Furthermore, Thailand is strongly determined to be a regional center for international cooperation and training. We have also attached importance to promoting development cooperation and assistance in various areas through South-South and triangular cooperation. Thailand, in collaboration with the UNSCAP and the UN Office for South-South Cooperation, will co-host the Global South-South Development Expo here in Bangkok next year. We look forward to sharing our experiences and best practices in sustainable development as guided by the principles of the sufficiency economy philosophy. Actually, we have shared our experiences with many countries in Africa already up until now. Just on the last pillars, the human rights. The human rights, the Royal Thai government remains committed to ensuring the implementation of international agreements and the instruments that have established principles and obligations on the protection of human rights, the rule of law, and good governance, and we continue to do so. This is with a particular emphasis on the vulnerable groups such as the children, the elderly, persons with disabilities, low-income earners, as well as migrant workers. Currently, we are implementing the 4th National Human Rights Plan with a result-oriented mindset, and we are proud to be the first country in Asia to enact a national action plan on business and human rights, which have been in implementation since 2019. And as you might already know, we have also presented our 3rd cycle of Universal Periodic Review report to the Human Rights Council as well in November. But throughout the past 75 years, the UN and its member states have relentlessly overcome global challenges. The past 2 years in particular, we have seen the health crisis from the spread of COVID-19, which has widely affected the living conditions of peoples around the world, as well as economic and social systems. Thailand is indeed no exception, and we express our solidarity with all the affected countries. The Royal Thai government is committed and determined to controlling the spread of COVID-19. As you can see from the establishment of the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration headed by the Prime Minister. And in doing so, Thailand's comprehensive measures in combating COVID-19 are implemented in accordance with the International Health Regulation 2005, as well as the World Health Organization's guideline. The Royal Thai government also fully supported the strategy on COVID-19 vaccine development and advocates the idea that COVID-19 vaccines and medicines be considered as global public goods, which can be accessible to all. And the UN can and must play an important role in this matter. The World Health Organization furthermore recognized Thailand as one of the countries which has provided the most effective response to COVID-19. The key factor behind our achievement in pandemic control and as a role model of effective healthcare management has been the determined political will to develop a robust healthcare system through the Universal Health Coverage Scheme. This recognizes that a healthy population is an important force in driving national development towards security, prosperity, and sustainability. So basically, these are the 3 pillars that we have carry out our our work under the framework of the UN, but also on the physical aspect, I would like to also highlight that, due to its early entry in the UN, another noteworthy endeavor of Thailand's membership is that the country has been dubbed actually as Geneva of Asia, and now we have been hosting the UN agencies for over 40 UN agencies in Bangkok. The Economic Commission for Asia and the Far East, or the E-Cafe, started operating in Shanghai originally in 1947. It has moved to Bangkok in 1949 and subsequently has changed name into the UN SCAP in 1976. And as you can see, that SCAP has been here for I think 75 years now, and at its current iconic green roof building on Ratchathamanan Avenue.
Yes.
So you have a long collaboration with the UN. And actually for this year, for SCAP, we reaffirmed our commitment in supporting successful and timely completion of the seismic mitigation retrofit life cycle replacement project of UN SCAP. It's these kind of renovation for the building. And I'm very pleased to announce here that as a result of the seminars co-hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the UN SCAP in July and December last year, we actually now have found the competent Thai bidders for this big project. And the first phase of this main construction will have already begun on 22nd November. So basically this shows, how private sector can interact and can engage with the work of the UN system.
Is the UN still relevant or necessary?
After a long period, yes, I still believe so. When the UN was established in 1945, it was our founding fathers' desire that humanity would live in dignity, free from want and free from fear. Today, unfortunately, we're still far from that accomplishing the noble goal. Conflict and violence arrived around the globe. Poverty and underdevelopment threaten the livelihoods of millions of people. Climate change, drug trafficking, human rights violations, terrorism, and epidemic diseases, particularly COVID-19, they have crossed the frontier uninvited, threatening all the humanity. But because of these problems have acquired a global dimension, no one country or a group of countries, however rich or powerful, can tackle them alone. The task of maintaining peace and security, promoting development, and protecting the human rights of people worldwide are no longer responsibility of any single nation. But despite some flaws in the UN, I still believe that UN is still humans' best hope for a better future. But we see in the UN and in the multilateralism that it advocates the possibility for further advancement of humankind, larger freedom. I think that is why we are actively involved in the UN reform and revitalization efforts to make UN more relevant and more active, so that it can serve the current threats and challenges of our times. That is why we are proud to serve as the UN's super hub. And we also celebrate the 75th anniversary of Thailand's membership in the UN on the 15th of December this year. We'll look forward to continue our working in close collaboration and in close partnership with other member states to build back a better world and leaving no one behind. And please rest assured that Thailand will remain a responsible, reliable, and constructive member, as well as a development partner of the UN for many years to come.
Thank you for joining me in this program.
Yes, it's a pleasure for me to do so. And if I just add as well that this is only the first of the series that we will plan to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Thailand's membership in the UN. If it's throughout the month of December, there will be more programs and be more ambassadors who have been posted to our UN missions abroad in New York, in Geneva, in Vienna, and in Nairobi, and as well as our permanent secretary. They will join one of the activities to celebrate the 75th anniversary as well. So there's a lot of things to look forward to in this special time, and we hope that everyone can join us and everyone can work together for a better world.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
was ขุนพืชภพมงคลนาวิน the Deputy Director General, Department of International Organization, giving us for more detail about the 75th anniversary of Thailand's membership in the UN. So stay tuned on MFA Update program next week. But don't forget to follow the YouTube channel MFA Thailand and Facebook page FM88 Radio Thailand English for more updates. I am Kimmy or Kim พนิกนิสาไกรฤกษ์สวัสดีค่ะ
MFA Updates